Welcome to this explainer. Right now, we're looking at a deeply sorrowful and honestly incredibly urgent breaking news story coming straight out of India's capital. When we examine news events, we're usually hunting for structural causes or data trends, right? But sometimes an event is just so devastating, so immediate, that we first have to pause and simply acknowledge the sheer human gravity of the situation. Today, we're analyzing the reports surrounding a fatal incident at the Flourish Stay hotel in Delhi. It's a really stark reminder of just how quickly life can change and how absolutely crucial infrastructure and safety truly are in our densely populated urban centers. So we're going to carefully walk through the verified facts of this tragedy to understand exactly what is known right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. 8. That is the number of lives lost in this single incident. In the fast-paced cycle of global news, it's just all too easy for numbers like this to flash across our screens and fade away, kind of just becoming another statistic. But we really must pause to truly comprehend the reality behind this figure. We are talking about 8 individual lives, gone in a matter of moments, due to a structural fire. It's a massive, concentrated loss of life for a single localized event, and it immediately sets a really somber, urgent tone for the investigation that must inevitably follow.
And the context behind that number? It just makes the whole thing even heavier. The victims here weren't just random guests passing through town. The purpose of their trip was heartbreakingly simple. They were visiting an ailing relative. They had traveled to Delhi specifically to offer care, support, and just be present for a loved one who was sick. It's an act of familial devotion that pretty much all of us can relate to, right? This specific detail transforms a standard breaking news report about a building fire into a profound human tragedy. They were there out of pure love and concern, completely unaware of the danger that was waiting for them at their temporary accommodation.
Section 1. The Malviya Nagar Fire. So the Flourish Stay Hotel really grounds the abstraction of breaking news into a very specific, tangible physical space. Located in Malviya Nagar, this is a well-known, bustling, and heavily densely packed neighborhood in South Delhi. And when we talk about urban safety, location is literally everything. A fire in a tightly packed neighborhood like Malviya Nagar introduces immense complexities when you think about emergency access, building density, and structural compliance. The Flourish Stay Hotel is now the epicenter of a major tragedy, and this specific site is going to be scrutinized heavily by fire departments and municipal authorities in the days to come.
Section 2. A tragic family visit.
And this brilliantly illustrates the profound human cost of the fire. When we look at the victims, it becomes painfully clear. We aren't just talking about 8 random, disconnected guests. We're talking about 8 members of a single family. Entire generations, siblings, parents, just wiped out in one single event. They checked into the Flourish Stay Hotel together as a family unit, unified by that heartbreaking purpose we mentioned a minute ago, visiting their ailing relative. Seeing the facts laid out exactly like this really emphasizes that this isn't just an infrastructure failure. It is the absolute destruction of a family's lineage and their future.
Section 3. Timeline of the tragedy.
Let's move to and see how this builds, tracing the tragic path from start to finish. Our timeline actually begins with a very clear intent. The family travels to Delhi, driven by a medical family emergency. The second step, it's just a standard logistical necessity, finding temporary residence. They choose, or maybe are placed at, the Flourish Stay Hotel in Malviya Nagar. It's supposed to be a safe haven, right? Just a simple place to rest between hospital visits or family care. And then we hit the final, catastrophic point on our timeline. The incident. The devastating fire breaks out. It's exactly this abrupt transition from the completely mundane act of checking into a hotel to a fatal disaster that authorities are going to be pulling apart, second by second, to figure out what went wrong.
Section 4. The investigation ahead. So, the crucial point is that these verified details form the actual baseline from which all future accountability is going to stem. We have the location securely identified, the Flourish Stay Hotel in Malviya Nagar. We have the event officially classified, a fatal structural fire, and we have the confirmed casualties, 8 members of a visiting family. Stripping away all the chaos of the immediate aftermath leaves us with these incredibly stark data points. Moving forward, investigators will take these facts and begin asking the really hard questions. Was the hotel up to fire code? Were there functional smoke alarms, sprinkler systems, clear emergency exits? These elements represent the very foundation of the case that will ultimately determine how and why 8 innocent people lost their lives while just trying to do a good deed for their family.
We now understand the heartbreaking facts of the Malviya Nagar hotel fire, the location, the timeline, and of course, the tragic human cost. But understanding the what is really only half the battle. We absolutely must demand answers to the how and why.
In the wake of the Flourish Stay fire, how can urban safety regulations be strictly enforced to ensure a tragedy like this never, ever happens again? It's a huge question of systemic accountability, municipal oversight, and really, the very basic right to safety in our built environments. I highly encourage you to keep this question in mind as further details inevitably emerge about this case. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we will see you next time.